Good Monday morning, everyone. It is cold yet again and rainy. It's starting to feel like I live in Seattle. You guys know me, Amy, here with Sandee and Russell for Author Talk, and our guest today is CJ. Say hi, everyone.
Woo! Hi,
Hello.
CJ. We've been waiting on this day for a while, right? So I met CJ for the first time at the author marketing event in Dallas, and that was in July. And that's when I had 58 people sign up for Author Talk. So we still have a bunch more to go. But because not but we had to rearrange some with Indie Palooza and some of the others, so our clients get to go first and all that good stuff. So CJ is part of our Through the Eyes of Authors program. So that means she's a client. So she got moved up, and so we're excited about it. And so we're excited about it having you today, CJ. And we're gonna interview you in a few minutes. But also, we just love your family. So Lydia, her sister, is still not been on yet, and she joined the Through the Eyes of Authors first, and then CJ. So we love your family.
Well, CJ's a real hustler too. CJ has done something about her appearance on Author Talk that none of the other authors have done, and I want to talk about it when we get to it because she's actually kind of real impressive to me.
I told her earlier she's in trouble now because Russell is impressed. So
I'll take it.
I know. You may regret it, but you. No, actually, I'm excited that Russell is part of he's the co-host. This whole Author Talk was Russell's idea. So thank you, Russell. And he's introduced me to so many people. And we're going to talk about one of the things that Melinda invited me to do for the Houston Public Library in a few minutes. So what about this weekend? We always start with sharing the weekend. What did you do this weekend, Russell?
I wrote a book. I wrote 2 books.
I know. When I saw that, I'm like, holy crap, Russell has written a children's book.
I need an illustrator.
Yes.
I'm sending it out there to everybody that's watching. I need an illustrator for a children's book.
Okay, so
for 3 children's books.
Bill Meganhart, are you listening today? So pay attention. He needs an illustrator. If you're interested in talking to Russell about illustrating his 3 children's books, then you can put a note in the comments here. How can they get in touch with you, Russell?
They should go through you.
Okay.
The illustrator, because you're the center of Author Talk. And so if you're an illustrator, you want to publish 3 books with me. There are children's books. There'll be the 400 word picture books for the under 8 crowd. And I'm about to start the storyboard work on the first book. I'll probably do that on the plane to India, since I'll be basically on the plane for 2 days. Oh my gosh.
Days on a plane?
Yes.
Good gravy.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes 2 days to get there on a plane, 2 days to get back.
So where do you go? I mean, do you fly directly to India?
We fly to the Netherlands.
Oh, the Netherlands.
Then we're stuck there for 4 to 8 hours.
Are you going to get to go around and tour or anything like that?
No, just short enough so we can't do that. Then we fly. Then we fly to India, and we fly on the same air path that Dutch airline was shot down over Ukraine.
Oh,
so we got that going for us.
Wow, yeah. You are living dangerously.
I know, right? And we can't even figure out when should we take our sleeping pills to go to sleep to get into the system.
I wouldn't until we landed.
I know.
Yeah, but then you miss part of India. I mean, we have 8 hours to get to the Netherlands. Yeah, but we leave at 3:30 in the afternoon.
You leave where at 3:30? Houston.
Oh, I would take it as soon as you left here.
Yeah, I would just sleep that first 8 hours, and you can be awake the rest of the time in case you get shot down.
I think that's what I'm leaning toward. And it's only 8 hours from the Netherlands to India.
Yeah, so you'll be on that cycle.
My husband and I went to South Africa in 2012. That's where he's from. And when we did, we bumped up to the Netherlands and then went down to Johannesburg. We started changing our clock a few days ahead of time, so that when we got up, we didn't have a massive jet lag, was one hint. And the other one was, from the point that you leave the US to the Netherlands is about the best time to sleep.
Well, it's hard. It's confusing. India is 12 and a half hours ahead of us.
Yeah. I've never heard of it. It must be the place where you're going, but I've never heard of anything being a half hour anything. Have you? I mean,
but this is
half hour ahead of us. I'm like, what?
Right. But this is to tell our viewers that Sue will be my replacement while I'm gone.
Sue Hawley. So Sue, I don't know if you're watching or not. I sent you a text. So starting next Monday, and so next Monday will be Cyber Monday. We will be having Author Talk on Cyber Monday. And we've got Sue will be on, and one of the authors that we're doing the
who?
Sue.
No, besides Sue, which author?
Well, Sue's books too. Sue's books will be part of the Cyber Monday book launch. The featured author for Cyber Monday is Judith Bryles. So doesn't mean everybody else is not getting attention too, but but Judith has helped us with so many things that we're doing a full-blown book launch for her, and the blitz starts today. So, excuse me, she's been sending us all kind of information.
Oh, she's a firecracker.
She is. I'm telling you, if you could keep up with Judith, you're doing good. So Judith, I know she just called me a few minutes ago to see, she needs instructions, she said. So Judith, in case you're watching, we've got it, and I'll talk to you this afternoon. So one of the things we'll be doing all week for all the people involved is going to be looking at bloggers, promoting the heck out of Cyber Monday, using that hashtag plus the hashtags of each one of the authors. Aimee and her team, now she now has a team. And by the way, Aimee
has a team now?
We have
like a sub team.
I am a big girl.
So we hired a new person on Friday. He's actually starting today. And Russell, you will love this. He's going to be doing our videos.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He's going to be taking the videos, putting an intro and an outro to all of our videos.
Well, I know he can do it better than you can.
I don't do it. I don't know how to do that. I know how to download and upload, and that's the extent of it.
So is he going to be able to make those little videos that you can promote your authors on Instagram that Aimee's talked about, but I've never
they have
really
to be
seen?
under. Well, yes, he will, but
have to be under
10 minutes.
Well, those are live. No, that's different. He's talking about if we wanted to post a segment of it on Instagram stories, it has to be under 20 or 12 seconds.
Right.
Oh, those.
I mean, they're short and tight.
Okay.
Yeah, they're short, sweet, tight, to the point.
So if we had a video, like if we interviewed CJ and it was less than 10 minutes, can I upload that to Instagram?
To Instagram TV?
I have uploaded music segments from our youth group that have been about 3 minutes long.
Well, I know there's a...
But I'm talking about even tighter. I'm talking about to make promotion, and I say this from Aimee's education, is the little 10-second bits that you use to stick into Instagram that promotes your whole interview.
Yeah, it needs to be short, sweet. If we want to put it in the story segment to upload it and stuff like that, we can have it where it creates a story of different segment videos, but you don't want to upload anything longer than that.
Anyway, he's going to be doing our videos for us and helping us get the whole YouTube channel uplifted and all that good stuff. So we're excited. So Greg, if you're watching us, when you're watching this, we're excited about it. We met with him. I went down on Friday and it was the co-host on Aimee's radio show.
I wish I could go sometime.
Well, why can't you?
let me know.
Okay.
When you get back, we'll go down again. And I'm coming down your way again on the 30th, Aimee, because I'm going to be having lunch with Bertrand.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it. Anyway, author talk. Yay. CJ Peterson. CJPetersonWrites.com. Anything else, Russell? What else did you want to talk about before we get into talking to CJ about her books?
Well, we've already used 12 minutes, so I'm afraid we need to get right on to CJ, I think. Before that, I would like for you to talk about your library foundation that you're working on.
Oh, yes. So I mentioned it on Friday, and by the way, Alan has already said he wants to be involved. So yay, thank you, Alan, with the Texas authors. Russell's wife is on the board for which I didn't realize there was now a foundation. So she's on the board of the foundation, right? Okay, so they explained this. I went to an event last Tuesday, which was the reception to kick this off. So in 2019, in April, there will be a fundraiser for the Houston Public Library Foundation. And the foundation is the nonprofit for the Houston Public Library. And so they have a speaker, and they already have the speaker, and I meant to bring the book in here because they gave us all a copy of her book, but I forgot. I'll have that next week. So I am on the host committee for this event, and everyone on the host committee is requested to have a table. And my goal, and I mentioned this on Friday, is to have an independent authors table, and that we get publicity around that, not necessarily out in the world, but with the Houston Public Library, because most libraries have only traditionally published books in them. And there's a lot of independently published books, and we want to make sure they know these authors are independently published. So I will have a table, and I will be asking after the first of the year if you want to be part of that table, because of course it will cost, because I'm going to pay for the table and ask who wants to be part of it. And if you're part of it, you get to have something about your book at the table, and I'll plan to have.
Ooh, that's a good shtick. I'm impressed.
I know how to do sticks.
I like that.
And we will have a sign made that says this is the independent authors table. So Alan with Texas Authors sent me a note after Friday and said, count me in for the Houston Public Library. And he may want his own table. So I haven't talked to him yet. I'm going to talk to him and see if he wants a table or he wants to be part of ours. So I'll be promoting that beginning in January. I'm talking about it now. In January, I'll start finding out who's interested, and depends on how many people are interested as to how much it's going to cost each one of us, or what size table we get. So would love to have a whole group of independent authors there to sit at this table and hear this speaker. And it's a young person, and it's a young adult book. And this young person is African-American, and the book is based on the Black Lives Matter. And April for the Houston Public Library is Inclusion Month, diversity and inclusion. That's the theme for Houston that month. And so that will be the theme of the public library in their event. So yay. And thank you, Melinda. Yay. That was awesome. So you're right, Russell. It was in a very prestigious home over on Sunset Boulevard. And the people were absolutely wonderful. And I got to meet your friend Sandee. And I told her that you talked about her quite a bit. And she said, I love Russell. So
thank you, Sandee.
Anyway, okay. So now what's next? Are we ready to talk to CJ?
I'm dying to talk to CJ. I have so many questions about her promotional capabilities, which are impressive.
Thank you.
And so she's very impressive. She's got 12 books, almost. She's got 11 now, and the 12th one will be coming out in 2019. She's got 3 different series, The series overlap. I mean, honestly, it's amazing how she's done this. And I'm going to ask her to explain it to us. But first, Russell just can't wait to talk to you about the marketing, CJ. So tell me, so Russell, go ahead and you answer the question you want to ask.
Okay. What we have never had on Author Talk before, and future Author Talk guests should pay attention to what CJ did. She started promoting last week that she would be on today. And then today she promoted it again this morning. And what that does is it expands her reach, right, Aimee?
Yes.
And I kept sharing through the different sources her post because I thought, wow, CJ should be totally rewarded for the way she's trying to expand her reach. And I noticed she got several shares out of it. So, and then after this, I know she's going to do some more because before we got started, she was already quizzing Sandee on when's this and when's that. So she's already thinking about it. CJ, how did you hone this knife?
Basically, I'm all about cross promotion. So yes, I shared it, but then that shares Author Talk as well. So everybody that's involved in Author Talk is also going to share it. And so it's all about the cross promotion. It's kind of like with my books, a portion of the proceeds go to certain charities. I promote their charity, they promote me as well. It's a cross promotion. So it's all about helping people.
It is. It's all about helping people. And Aimee, that's one of the things you always talk about when you talk about and teach people how to do social media, is the whole thing about helping other people, help promote other people. Because you know what happens when CJ promoted the Author Talk? Not only did Author Talk get promoted, but CJ got promoted. So if you promote somebody else, then everyone gets to see that you're promoting them. Well, I love that. Love that.
Might not have even known that it existed.
Right. Absolutely.
I like classes. Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook.
Do you do LinkedIn?
Yep.
So I've been doing more LinkedIn, and that was one of the discussions that we were going to have, and we will have in the future.
I've started because of you. I started this weekend because of what you keep preaching about.
I'm telling you, I now have over 16,000 connections, and I have no idea how that happened, other than the big thing is that when Gola started working with us, and I at that time I rarely went to LinkedIn, but Gola started working with us, and I asked her to go to LinkedIn every day, check to see who had commented, check to see who had received congratulations for whatever, and then also see who had a birthday. And every day she loves LinkedIn. Every day, all of a sudden, I start getting these messages from LinkedIn, from messages. This person commented, this person commented, this person commented. And I go every day and I look, and I've got this long list of people that have requested that I become a connection. And I accept. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so all of a sudden I looked up and I was at 10,000. Then I looked again and I was at 12,000. And I looked the other day and I'm at 16,000. So
it's a network.
About 2 weeks ago, I think you had me get on. I'm already over 1,000.
See, it really does work. I love LinkedIn. And I can go to LinkedIn and do a search for authors, which I do that on a regular basis. And then I go connect with those authors. But anyway. We're not going to keep going about LinkedIn, but I just want to know.
Well, it was an important little social media piece.
Oh,
so it's good that we did.
Okay. So good. Thank you, CJ. I'm glad you did that, because CJ not only does great social media for herself, she speaks on social media at some of the writers' conferences, like as we were talking earlier, the East Texas Writers Conference. And so tell us about some of the writers groups that you're a member of. CJ.
Well, the East Texas Writers Association is one of them. I'm also a member of Texas Authors, and I'm a member of the North Texas Book Festival. So I'm on all three. When I went to talk to the East Texas Writers Association, she asked me to specifically do it mainly on Twitter and social media. But what I did is I combined it with actually branding, because the two go hand in hand. Sometimes specifically talking about authors, they'll promote just their one book as a separate Twitter handle or a separate Facebook page. And that doesn't help you. You need to promote yourself as a brand.
That's great. She's just helping and keep going what you've always taught us, Aimee. And that's, just everything Aimee's taught us. And she's been teaching all of us social media now for about 7 years. It's when she was a little girl.
Yeah, she was like 11 back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you, CJ. So let's talk about your books now. So your books are young adult books. Are they adult?
I've had everybody from teens read it all the way up to, I had a 76-year-old lady one time message me, because the only question not answered in the first 2 series is what's in the box. And she said, I'm going to die. I'm a senior citizen. I'm going to die before I find out what's in the box. And I'm like, just breathe. It'll be coming across soon. I've had homeschool moms message me like, I am so glad we're on a break because I was reading your book till 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's great.
Yeah, I've had Army Ranger read it and he loved it. So it's men, women, teens have told me about the next book and have chucked it across the room. So.
And Vola just said those are organic connections on LinkedIn, not paid. So thank you, Vola. And I love you. Employee of the month.
No, that is just, no. I literally bought her that cup. I told her I was giving it to her. It's coming in the mail. She's getting that cup.
And Aimee,
okay.
Anyway, so we'll go back to CJ.
So basically,
CJ,
when I do write them, I write them because I'm a youth leader at our church, and so I write them. So if one of my teens did pick it up, because they are on a couple of the AR reading lists around here, I made sure that it was okay for them to read. So they're kind of known as clean reads.
So when you publish them, though, you have to give them a genre. And what are they, young adult or adult at that point?
It actually depends. I generally run them as adult. But it kind of depends on where I'm at. I would probably classify them more as the young adults, but there's so much in that genre, it's kind of overloaded. So I kind of more go toward.
Okay, that's good. So Russell was showing us, so you have 3 series. Which series where did you start? Where did all this start?
Well, it actually started with the Holy Flame trilogy. But I always tell people start with the Grace Restored series because the Holy Flame trilogy is intense. The books are on spiritual warfare. It's like Frank Peretti's This Present Darkness. And so the trilogy goes into it head first. The Grace Restored series is a 5-book series. That one kind of wades into it, and you get to kind of meet the angels a little bit toward the end of it.
Is that the series you're talking about now, yes. Right?
So I always start people on that one. But the characters,
so what are the books about?
They're about spiritual warfare. Like this set has, the best way to explain it is where there's dark, there's light. Where there's angels, there's demons. In my books, the spiritual realm actually crosses into the physical. So the main underlying group, if you put up the Holy Flame trilogy one,
keep talking, I'm slow.
The Holy Flame trilogy, you notice the middle book is Operation Angel.
And that's an acronym.
Yep, the angel stands for Available to Nurture God's Eternal Love. That's the underlying group in all 3 of the series. They get their assignments from the archangel who ships them out into the world to help people. The Grace Restored series has police and FBI and a little bit of ranching because they end up in Australia. The Holy Flame trilogy has police and firefighting, or not police and fire. They have firefighting and military. And then the Divine Legacy series is actually the kids from the first 2 series. So it's 20 years later. So what they've done is they've passed on the angel divine legacy to the next generation. And once the next generation takes over, all sorts of chaos ensues all over the world. One of them, I say, creates an international incident angel style. And in my books, I'm not afraid to touch a lot of subjects that some Christian authors kind of shy away from. For example, in the Divine Legacy series, the international incident is caused because one of them somehow gets caught up and stuck in a sex slave trade. And so they have to go in and rescue her. And so, but everything is done in a clean way. And a lot of parents like it because they'll pass it on to their teens, and it opens up conversations between the parents and the teens regarding things like abortion. Or
so where did you get the idea to write these on these topics?
Well, I've been a youth leader for over 18 years. So there's
wow. Isn't that some kind of record right there?
It could be.
I don't know, but we just keep plugging away. I love them. I love the next generation. I love investing in the next generation. But they're facing a lot of things that people weren't facing 18 years ago. And so it's like, but a lot of people are afraid to touch them anymore because they're afraid that it might offend somebody or offend something. And so I'm like, you know, we have to deal with them. And so let's just do it, rip off the Band-Aid, deal with it, and work through it. I've had a lot of people tell me, I love your books. Can I be a character in your book? And then the next sentence out of the mouth is, please don't kill me. I'm known as a literary assassin.
Yeah, well, meet Russell.
Nice.
I love killing people. It's
He
my
does.
second favorite part.
He
My
does.
hardest part is trying to figure out how to not kill somebody.
So I've already warned Russell there's a little kid in his new book, and I'm like, do not kill that kid.
And in fact, I
Yeah.
had to get permission from an old friend of mine to use their name because it's a very great name. And I warned him, I said, look, you're not going to like the character that has your name. It's a bad person. Oh, no, that's great. That's great.
That's
we'll see
funny.
if they're okay
That's
with
funny.
I would like to be a bad character in a book. You know, like the bad guy. I would love that. I
I'd totally kill you.
I feel like I could play that role really well. I like it.
You don't have to do anything. The writer does that.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like my personality is fit for an evil villain, I guess. I don't know.
I'll put you in one of my children's books.
Sandee, back to your question. I interview a different author every few months on my website. And one of the questions I love to ask is, are you a planner or are you a pantser? Planner is the ones that have like the butcher paper on the wall with Post-it notes all over. I actually know one author who color codes her Post-it notes. That gives me hives. I'm a pantser. I literally sit down, pray. The only thing I keep is a running list of the characters.
Now, what is that second word you're saying? Planner or what?
Pantser, right by the seat of your pants.
Oh, pantser. I'm like, I'm not sure. I get it now. Pantser, by the seat of your pants. Okay. So where would you place yourself, Russell? Planner or pantser?
Oh, I'm a total planner. I graph, outline, write, then regraph, re-outline, then write, then I regraph what I wrote.
But you don't use colored. You don't use colored sticky notes, so do you?
No, I don't believe in sticky notes because then you lose them and you don't know what you wrote and where they are.
That's true. That would be my biggest fear.
That's terrible.
My theory is, though, is that the characters take over the storyline, and where they take it, I'm not in control.
Right. That's why I have to regraph.
But that's exciting for me, though, because I don't know how the stories are going to end. I don't even know how it goes from one storybook to the next. So it's like, for me, I get to go along the adventure with the reader. Only I get the sneak peek.
Yeah. That makes me grimace almost as much as the way I described it made you grimace.
Oh, it gives me hives.
Well, and that just shows there's so many different ways, and each author is creative, and they create not only what they're writing, but the method that they use to write it. Like, for example, right now we're in the middle of NaNoWriMo. Mm-hmm. Russell, are you participating in that at all?
No, but I have argued with the people that are. We all of us have people that are involved in that. And there's something to be said for getting the first draft down, to get those words on a piece of paper or a computer. CJ, I see you shaking. You agree with me. That's a big deal.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier to make the castle if the sand is in the box.
Right. So there's a good rationalization for NaNoWriting. I'm good with that. However, because I'm such a grapher and outliner, I find the whole process bewildering.
What about you, CJ? Do you participate in the NaNoWriMo?
I don't, because of the way that I write. Like I said, for example, my sister Lydia Mann is a writer as well, an author, and she does the whole butcher paper thing. So she may do that, but I don't because I'm a pantser. So I literally will type.
She's a planner, is what you're saying.
A planner.
Yeah.
But I type till I can't type anymore, and then I put it up for a little bit. Then I'll read the last chapter, and I'll just keep going. So I go when I'm inspired. If I'm not inspired, I don't want to force it because the reader is going to be able to tell that with my writing if it's been forced. And when I go through and edit it, if I do it that way and I go through and edit it, it's going to be a whole different story anyway.
Wow.
I know.
Learning very much.
So for those of you that don't know what NaNoWriMo is, if there's anybody out there that doesn't, then it's a national novel writing in a month. So the goal is to write, I think, 50,000 words in the month of November.
Our Fern was at 39,000 today, she said.
Wow. And this is the middle of the month. So what's today? The 19th. 19th. Wow, it is getting towards the end of the
Fern's
month.
Really, Fern's about to reach her goal.
And the fact that they happen over Thanksgiving, I don't know, is that good or bad? Because I would think
the holidays would be a zoo. I mean, if you're going to do it in like June or August or something where it's slow down.
There's always something to interfere with our writing. You know that.
Not
there's people wanting us to do stuff. It's awful.
Well, you just kind of got to carve out time. And so it's like when I write, I need at least multiple hours because I write a lot at one shot. Some people do the whole word count. Again, that gives me hives. I don't do word count.
That gives me hives too.
So it's like, well, I need to write this amount of words per, time that I sit down. And I'm like, but what if your characters decide to take off on a whole other tangent? Are you going to stop at 10,000 words?
Right. And some days I only have 200 words and they're not that good and they get erased.
Sometimes I'm just creating a character plot line that suddenly had popped into my head.
Exactly.
And
that's what I love about what I do. Don't you love this, Aimee? I mean, we get to listen. I mean, two people that have published books. Russell has almost 2. And he's
they're so similar. Like I never would have pinpointed it, but they're so similar. But honestly, Sandee, my mind right now, ever since you guys are talking about word count and stuff, is how much food I'm gonna eat for Thanksgiving. My mouth is already like salivating for like all the food I'm gonna get when I go home. So
you're just excited because somebody else is cooking it.
Yeah. Well, my mom cooks the best food, so that's why I'm super excited about it.
And I'm excited because all my kids will be here. So I haven't seen some of them for a few months because everybody's been so busy. And then I was in South Carolina and North Carolina and all that. So every one of my kids and my sister will be here for Thanksgiving. And that means more to me than anything else. So CJ, what about your Thanksgiving plans? Anybody, are you going to your parents or your husband's parents?
Actually, no. We're going to be here with friends. And my husband's son is here as well.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going to be kind of small this year, but the Christmas is when like the entire clan gets together.
Yeah. So Lydia is, so she'll be with your parents and all of that with things for Thanksgiving. Well, that's good. How many siblings do you guys have? You and Lydia and who else?
There's 2 others, 2 boys, and I'm the baby.
Oh, is Lydia the old?
Did you see the post that my mother shared? Yeah, you should comment. I had to comment on it. It's great.
Yeah,
so
I'm spoiled. I'll own it.
Yeah, it's great.
Is Lydia the oldest?
No.
Really? I would have thought she might be the oldest.
No. No.
She'll kill you for that, Sandee.
No, she's the next one. And I do need to say that Lydia does write for children's, like 4th to 6th grade. She has a book out, and it is manrights.com. It's
well,
really
isn't that
Who does she use for her illustrator?
I actually need to ask her because she's actually starting a children's book, and so she's currently working with an illustrator. So
Lydia, contact me.
That one.
Yeah, because Lydia's on. She's already given us the high sign, and then she's made a couple of comments. So Lydia, get in touch with Russell. And also, I just want to stop for a second and say thank you to, first of all, Gary Sternagel. He's one of the agents at Keller Williams Southwest, and he's on. And so thank you, Gary. I did an interview with Gary Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago, and we got more engagement from that one video than every other post put together for the rest of the month. That was incredible. Wow. And then I also want to say a special hi to my friend Stephen Okeke. He is in, oh gosh, Stephen, I don't remember where you are. He's in one of the islands in the Caribbean. Starts with a B. What?
Barbados?
No.
Bahamas?
No. So, okay. Stephen, go ahead and can you post what island you're with? Because I always want to go. You can go there on a cruise. And I always want to go visit him. I've never met him. But he did. Well, I mean, I have met him. I've never been there. Huh?
Is it St. Martin?
No. He came to
That's
Houston.
not a B.
He came to Houston once to meet with me.
For the B, my bad.
He's got several books, and he does a lot of research, and his books are like, Russell, you would love his books. So anyway, hi, Stephen. Welcome, and glad you joined us. So, CJ, back to you. What are your future plans for your books?
Okay, well, I'm going to be finishing up this series. Like I said, in the spring is going to be the last book. And I've been with these characters since 2012, so it's going to be kind of heartbreaking. So I'm kind of dragging it, finishing it up. But then I have a standalone that I'm already partway through that my husband keeps telling me to put down until I finish this book that's coming out. And then I have a set of 4 that I'm already working on, and they're the South African series.
Oh, because your husband's from South Africa. Right. Well, how cool is that? You're writing a series about your husband's location, where he's from. So, and also...
He helps with a lot. He's a retired Navy senior chief, and he was a corpsman. He worked with actually the Marines 20 of his 24 and a half years. So I got a lot of the medical, and I got a lot of the military.
I was going to say, I think your husband's a doctor, right?
He's a retired PA.
Oh, okay. So Russell was commenting earlier about your background. So congratulations. You have really impressed Russell all the way around.
I know, with the sign.
I know the sign behind her is, that's her website at the top. That's her name, and she's an author. And then she has a quote.
That's Jericho 29:11, right?
Well, actually, that quote is not the scripture.
This is my tagline. It's, while the stories are fiction, the journey is real.
And Jeremiah 29:11 is that verse that says that God wants us to prosper. So
I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to give.
That was right before the Babylonians overran Jerusalem, though, wasn't it? I said that was written like only a generation before the Babylonians overran Jerusalem.
Actually, I think it was,
yeah.
Russell does know the history.
Anyway,
He knows history.
I know more than you think I do.
No, I think you know a lot. So if you know more than I think you know, you really are on top of it. So so in the marketing of your book, CJ, we know you do social media. Anything else you do to promote your books?
A lot of it is just social media because I'm in teeny tiny East Texas. I do
which is cool, by the way.
I do a lot of book shows. My author friend Shanna Spence and I and my sister and my husband are starting a murder mystery dinner theater that's called One Way Ticket to Murder. So we're going to be doing that for the East Texas writers in February. And once we get a couple of those under our belt, we'll start promoting that, and you guys can have us come and do your author group.
Now, and what group is it that I'm speaking at this year?
East Texas Writers.
Okay, so she's already got me down to speak a couple times this coming year, and most of it will be from Zoom that I'll be speaking to them, and I'm actually loving it. I've done that with a group, the nonfiction writers group in Boise, Idaho. So
oh, that's fun. Awesome.
I know, isn't that fun?
I think it is.
And we had the person that leads that group speak to our group. And so all we did was put up a big screen and then did the connections, and there she was speaking. And then she could see, our group of authors because we were all watching it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, very interactive, and definitely now at some point, CJ, I'd really love to come there. And so maybe we'll do that. Now, which one of the East Texas groups has a conference each year? The one Alan spoke there last year. Alan spoke and Roger Leslie spoke.
Tyler. There's a group in Tyler.
Okay. Because I know they both spoke at a group last year, and I said, I want to go speak at that group next year. So, so Lydia Brew, hello. She's just joined us.
I do want to go back to this real quick.
Oh, yeah, but before we do, let's Sandee tell who else is on.
Oh.
Okay. So Lydia, of course, is on. We've been talking about that. Lydia Brew. Looking to see Aimee, and do you see anybody else, Aimee, that's on?
No.
Okay, go.
Okay.
So back to this. That this is here. It kind of goes along with this. My characters go through a lot. But basically they use the Bible to get out of their stress points. And the verse Jeremiah 20:11 is, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." That verse comes in play a lot within the books, but that's also my life verse. I've been through a lot, and it's gotten me through a lot. And so parts of me are in each of the books. I'm never going to tell which ones they were exactly, but they're in there.
So maybe someday you'll have to have a contest to see if people can figure out which one is you.
The ones who know me know which ones are me.
Okay.
I think that's very healthy. I think that's great.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Right, once you know.
The words that I go by was written by Dylan Thomas, so that's not as healthy.
Oh, well, this has been awesome. So stay tuned. Next week will be Cyber Monday. We will be having it. I don't know if we were going to have a guest next week, or we're just going to be talking about the different authors that are part of Cyber Monday. So we'll be announcing all of that this week. And then, so throughout this week, you're going to be hearing about the different authors that have a special. CJ, are you doing anything special for Cyber Monday?
Well, actually, the first two books, the Seasons of Change in the Grace Restored series and The Call to Duty in the Holy Flame trilogy, both of those are actually 99 cents. And they
very good. Then let's make sure we promote them.
See, she didn't let us down. She is hustling. You are impressive, CJ.
I love it.
I do too. And so CJ, at some point we'll talk about even more about that, either on Author Talk or in one of our programs, because the person that I follow more closely when it comes to the price of the books and all that is Pamela from Hutchins, and she lives in Brenham, and she's got the numbers to back what she teaches. And she does teach that if you have one of your books at 99 cents, or even now she has her first book as perma free. And so then she really, and she makes enough money on her books that she gave up her law practice to do this full time. So she's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, another thing to do is every once in a while, I'll give away those first two books for free in those two series. So just kind of keep track on my website or on, any of my social media links, which can be found under the About section on my website.
When's your next book coming out, CJ?
Spring.
When you have your next book come out, will you come back on and tell us your promotional plan? I think that I would love to hear it.
Sure. I'm always.
Yay. Yeah, she's always up for a good interview, and we'd love to have you back, CJ. Russell, any final word from you? This is your last one. For how many weeks will you be in India?
I may be able, if I have good Wi-Fi, up here for short periods in Delhi or Jaipur, but who knows, 2 or 3 weeks. Sue, good luck. I know you'll do great. Make sure to not be so nice all the time to Sandee and Aimee.
Sue can handle that.
I know, she's good. I know, she's funny.
So Aimee, what's up for you this week?
Oh, I have an extremely busy week. But no, I guess my last words would be happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys and everyone listening, since we won't be back on for Thanksgiving. CJ, thank you so much for joining us today. I learned a lot, and especially learned that you are a lot like Russell, which is not a bad.
That's a good thing or not.
I know, right? See, all of a sudden I like CJ better.
No, I love Russell, so it's a compliment. But I'm so glad that you came on, and I'm very excited for your book coming out this spring, in the spring.
Yep, I'm excited too. And once that gets going, we're probably going to give away the first books in each of the 3 series to get everybody moving through.
Because you want people to read one book so they know you and they want to read the rest of your books.
Well, and part of it as well is that, like I said earlier, is that a portion of the proceeds from each of the sales of the books go to certain charities. For the Grace Restored series, a portion of the proceeds goes to Hope's Door, which is a domestic violence shelter in Plano, Texas. A portion of the proceeds from the trilogy and from Divine Legacy both go to Airborne Angel Cadets of Texas, who ship packages overseas to our military. So you get a good book, and you also get to help a charity at the same time. And that is always.
Yay. So I want to say a quick join us tonight for now, the rest of the year. Each Monday night, instead of doing another course and starting it and going through the holidays, we're going to do a different person or a different theme or a different topic every Monday night. So tonight, Red is going to be speaking about how to use the correct language in when you speak, so that you're not creating something from your speaking that you don't want to create. So Red's going to take a few minutes, and then we'll be discussing that. And it will be open to anyone. I'll be sending out an email later, but if you're interested and want to know the link to join us on Zoom, let me know. And then, yes, Sam.
They're a fun bunch too.
Yeah, we are. And you're part of it too, CJ. So we're all fun. We have a great time, and we help each other out. That's the big thing. We help each other out. So I'll be sending out information this afternoon and sending out information about Cyber Monday and tonight and the other weeks. And can't wait. So see you later. And CJ.
I wanted to say thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. We enjoyed it very much. So thank you for being here with us. And we will see you guys next week on Cyber Monday.